I'm Victoria. I remember as a young child walking with father, looking in the streets for my mother. She drank and we would look for her, listen for her in the dark and help her home. When my mother died, father married again right away to a woman who hated me. After being kept in a dog cage and not allowed to go to school or eat dinner with my father, I was made to live in an orphanage. Everyone there said I was pretty. Then one day, when I was 11, the orphanage director gave me many gifts, beautiful clothes, lovely jewelry and makeup. I tried on the charcoal-colored sparkling miniskirt and the lavender eyeshadow. I would try to walk like a princess. I felt like the center of the universe. I felt so pretty. Then one day, an expensive black car drove up. A couple businessmen from Moscow got out. It was then that I met the Kots, pimps. I was told we had won a contest, a prize for our orphanage. My job was to go to Moscow to accept the prize, to be a good girl, and to mind the papas. So I went to Moscow with them and started to work. They didn't take me to a hotel or an awards banquets. They took me to the Tochka, the red light district. They made me work. I became pregnant when I was 15 years old. When I was young, the Kots would perform abortions on me. I would bleed and cry for days. Now I have 2 children. They don't invite me to Moscow anymore. My daughter attends kindergarten. When I can send her, she's very smart, a good girl. I think she'll be prettier than me. I registered for a job and have heard nothing about it for 2 years. I go to their office every week. With no skills, who would hire me? I'm an orphan, a prostitute. Who would want me? And where I live, in an old apartment building outside of the city, it is very cold and bare. My children and I live in one cold room. We share a kitchen and a bathroom with other tenants. Though I can always afford to feed them, I cannot let myself give up my children, not even for a while. My daughter is too pretty. But one day, I told a social worker my story, and now we have help from Doma with food and money and support. The classes about parenting have helped me so much. I know that hope is here. They are teaching me to be an accountant. With Doma, I have a new identity, a clear mind. I'm beginning to be me. My name is Victoria. I'm alive. I'm free.
I am Orit. My mother died when I was born. I was cared for by my mother's sister. There were so many of us. We were always hungry. We all slept together in the hut built by my uncle. In the village, we had men dead. It is the way things were. Every day I collected water. I carried water jugs for a long way on the mountain path to collect water from a stream. The jugs were so heavy when they were full. The water was red, like the earth around the village. When I was 14, I married Behan. My first child was due to be born, and when the time came, I was frightened. Behan went to get my auntie. The next day, my son was born, dead. I was very weak afterward. I asked why he died, and my aunt said some things we cannot know. Before long, I was due with another child. This child was born and lived, a daughter. Before she was weaned, I was due with another one. My son was born, but I bled so much. I could not stand or work for weeks. After some years, we had 5 more children born. One of my sons was just 5 years old. He became very sick. He died within 3 days. I did not know what to do for him. At the birth of my last baby, I bled very much again. So when I expected another child, I was afraid I might die like my mother did when she gave birth to me. But what a wonderful week it was. Doma came to our village and had a clinic for us. They checked my health and gave me vitamins to help the baby. I even got to hear the beating heart of my baby. Can you imagine? I had never heard such a sound. Doma gave us medicine for parasites from the water, for infections, for malaria. Some of them played with the children. They had balls and balloons and much laughter. And the best, Doma and our elders made the first shovels of earth where the permanent clinic will be by next spring. Because of Doma's help, my last baby was born healthy. Now I'm learning to be a midwife. It will take several years to learn, but then I can know what to do to help other women in my village to be healthy and to give birth safely. The clinic is being built, the land cleared by hard work, and material hold up the mountain. A well for clean water is being dug, so we won't get sick from contaminated streams. With the hope that Doma brought to me and to our village, I can give hope to my children as I've been given. My name is Orit. I am alive. I am free.
I am Tori. My mom started pimping me out when I was 11. We lived in a hotel. She waited tables at the diner. She traded me to truckers so she could get crack and booze. When I stopped going to school, I got put with my uncle and aunt for a while. My uncle took me to bars at night when he went. I'd sit in the corner. Then one night, my uncle told me to wait for him in the room in the back. And then a man came back there and said my uncle sent him. And he did things to me. And he wasn't the only one. I tried to tell my aunt, but she yelled at me and said I was an awful liar. I didn't know what to do. A few weeks later, we found my uncle dead in the living room. He'd done himself in. And my aunt said it was all my fault. I remember that after that, I kept getting in cars with guys. There was this one guy, and every time I smoked with him, I'd drool. I thought I was hooked on something. Crack. I was lost. There was real bad times then. I got beat, sometimes real bad. And there were times I was tied to poles in basements. I had to work on the streets. I was so hungry. You need the money to do the drug to make the money, and the money to do the drug, and then jail. I've been pregnant 9 times, been arrested 31 times. Then I got a new judge, Judge Herbert, and he kept saying, "There's another way." And I couldn't hear it for the longest time because my disease, my addiction to crack, was screaming in my ears. Just get back on the street and get some crack. Just do what it takes to get the hell up out of here. Along the way, I've had 4 kids. My boyfriend was trying to pimp out 2 of my girls, and then they went into foster care. Once when I got arrested, the cops passed a phone through the car window. It was that judge asking me real nice to come home. I was in the Catch program for 2 years. The Doma volunteers would throw parties and host retreats for us. I learned that I am a beautiful lady, both inside and out. The mentors helped me to learn to trust again. I graduated from the program this October. To fight back, I go into the streets, into the prisons. I tell the ladies about Catch and Doma. I don't regret one moment of my life. I have survived. I am a light for others in the dark. You know what Harriet Tubman said? I would have freed more slaves if only they had known they were slaves. My name is Tori. I am alive. I am free.
My name is Victoria. I'm alive. I'm free.
My name is Orit. I am alive. I am free.
My name is Tori. I am alive. I am free.